The cold vacuum of space stretched endlessly before me, a canvas of darkness punctuated by distant stars. I clung to the hull of the spacecraft, the only thing keeping me from being swallowed by the void. The radio crackled with static, my pleas for help lost in the cosmic expanse. It had happened in an instant, a catastrophic malfunction during our routine spacewalk. One moment, I was tethered to the ship. The next, I was adrift, the tether severed and my lifeline reduced to a distant speck. Panic had surged through me, the isolation of space closing in like a vice. As I watched the spacecraft continue its forward trajectory, a sense of dread settled over me. I was alone, abandoned in the cold, unforgiving embrace of space. The only sound was the distant echo of my own breath in the confines of the helmet, a stark reminder of my fragile existence. I tried to contact the crew, my voice a desperate plea in the darkness. But the radio remained silent, the void offering no solace. It was a cruel irony, to be so close to the safety of the spacecraft, yet utterly out of reach. Time seemed to stretch and contort, the minutes feeling like eternities. I watched as the spacecraft grew smaller, a distant beacon of hope slipping further away. My breath fogged the visor of my helmet, a stark reminder of the precious oxygen that was slowly dwindling. In that moment, a chilling realization washed over me. This was it. I was alone, abandoned in the abyss, with no hope of rescue. It was a fate that seemed both cruel and inevitable, a testament to the harsh realities of space exploration. As I drifted further from the spacecraft, a sense of resignation settled over me. I was a speck in the cosmos, a solitary figure in an infinite expanse. It was a fate I had never imagined, a nightmare born from the depths of the unknown. Hours turned to days, the isolation becoming a relentless companion. I watched the stars wheel across the sky, their distant glimmers a reminder of the universe's indifference to my plight. It was a surreal existence, a dance with the cosmos that defied all logic. And then, in the midst of the emptiness, a glimmer of hope flickered to life. A distant speck appeared on the horizon, growing steadily larger. It was the spacecraft, returning to retrieve me from the abyss. Relief washed over me, a tide of gratitude and disbelief. As the ship drew near, I could see the faces of my crewmates, their expressions a mix of relief and concern. They extended a robotic arm, pulling me back into the safety of the spacecraft. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. But as I stood there, surrounded by the familiar confines of the spacecraft, a sense of unease settled over me. Something was amiss, a subtle shift in the atmosphere. The crew exchanged uneasy glances, their eyes betraying a secret they were unwilling to share. It was then that I realized the truth. They had abandoned me intentionally, leaving me to the mercy of the void. It was a betrayal that cut deep, a revelation that shattered my trust in those I had once considered comrades. As the reality of the situation sank in, a surge of anger and determination coursed through me. I would not be a pawn in their twisted game, a sacrifice to the unforgiving cosmos. I would find a way to survive, to defy the odds and return to Earth on my own terms. And so, as I stared out into the endless expanse of space, I made a silent vow. I would navigate the cosmic wilderness, using every ounce of training and instinct to defy the odds. It was a battle for survival, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of the unknown. As the spacecraft drifted further from view, I turned my gaze to the distant stars, a newfound resolve burning within me. I was alone, abandoned in the cold embrace of space, but I was not defeated. I was a survivor, a testament to the unyielding power of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. The barren expanse of the alien planet stretched out before me, a landscape of jagged rocks and swirling dust. My breath rasped in the confines of my helmet, a stark reminder that I was alone in this desolate wasteland. The others had left me behind, their voices fading into the static of the comms. It had happened in an instant, a catastrophic failure during our descent. The landing had been rough, the impact jarring and disorienting. And then as I stumbled out onto the unfamiliar terrain, I heard it, the ominous hiss of escaping air, the telltale sign of a breach in the hull. Panic surged through me as I realized the truth. The ship was compromised, and there was no way back. The others had no choice but to leave, to seek safety on the barren horizon. They assured me they'd come back for me, that they wouldn't leave me stranded, but their promises rang hollow in the echoing emptiness. As I watched the ship ascend into the alien sky, a sense of dread settled over me. I was alone, abandoned on a planet that might as well have been another world entirely. The enormity of my isolation pressed down on me, a suffocating weight that threatened to overwhelm. I tried to contact them, my voice a desperate plea in the cold silence. But the comms remained silent, the only response the harsh static that echoed in my ears. It was a cruel reminder of my solitude, a stark testament to the unforgiving nature of space. I surveyed my surroundings, the harsh landscape offering little in the way of solace. The rocks jutted out like the gnarled fingers of some ancient behemoth, casting long, eerie shadows in the dying light. The air was thin and acrid, carrying with it a metallic tang of alien minerals. With each step, I felt the weight of my predicament settle deeper. The alien landscape seemed to stretch on endlessly, a desolation that defied all logic. It was a stark reminder of the harsh realities of space exploration, a testament to the risks we undertook in our quest for discovery. As the hours turned to days, I struggled to find a way to survive. I rationed what supplies I had, eking out each precious drop of water and every morsel of food. I knew that rescue was a slim hope at best, and I couldn't afford to wait idly for a salvation that might never come. I scoured the landscape for any signs of shelter or sustenance, my mind racing for a solution. The rocks loomed like ancient sentinels, their shadows shifting with the passage of time. It was a surreal existence, a dance with the unknown that defied all logic. And then in the midst of the desolation, I stumbled upon it, a cave nestled within the rocky outcrop. It was a meager refuge, but it offered some modicum of shelter from the harsh elements. I ventured inside, the darkness closing in around me like a shroud. In the dim light, I could see the jagged walls, their surfaces marred by the passage of time. It was a stark reminder of the eons that this planet had existed, a silent witness to the unforgiving nature of the cosmos. I settled in, determined to make this cave my temporary sanctuary. Days turned to weeks, my existence a monotonous cycle of rationing and solitude. The cave became my haven, a fragile bubble of safety in the midst of the alien landscape. I dared not venture too far, for fear of losing my way in the unforgiving terrain. And then, one day, as I emerged from the cave, I saw it, a distant speck on the horizon. It was a ship, descending from the heavens like a savior from the abyss. Relief washed over me, a tide of gratitude and disbelief. They had come back for me. As the ship touched down, I could see the faces of my crewmates, their expressions a mix of relief and concern. They rushed towards me, their voices a cacophony of reassurances and apologies. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. But as I stood there, surrounded by the familiar faces of my comrades, a sense of unease settled over me. Something was amiss, a subtle shift in the atmosphere. The air seemed charged with an unspoken tension, a secret that hung in the silence. It was then that I realized the truth. They had never intended to come back for me. It had all been a ruse, a cruel charade, to leave me stranded on this alien world. It was a betrayal that cut deep, a revelation that shattered my trust in those I had once considered comrades. As the reality of the situation sank in, a surge of anger and determination coursed through me. I would not be a pawn in their twisted game, a sacrifice to the unforgiving cosmos. I would find a way to survive, to defy the odds and return to Earth on my own terms. And so, as I watched the ship ascend into the alien sky, I made a silent vow. I would navigate the treacherous terrain, using every ounce of training and instinct to defy the odds. It was a battle for survival, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of the unknown. As the ship disappeared from view, I turned my gaze to the distant horizon, a newfound resolve burning within me. I was alone, abandoned on an alien world, but I was not defeated. I was a survivor, a testament to the unyielding power of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. The hum of the spaceship's engines reverberated through the metal walls, a constant reminder that we were hurtling through the cold expanse of space. It was supposed to be a routine mission, a simple exploration of an uncharted sector. But now, as I looked around at the drawn faces of my crewmates, I could feel the tension thick in the air. Food shortages had plagued us for days. Rations had been carefully calculated, but something had gone awry. We were running out, and panic was setting in. It gnawed at our stomachs and our minds, a relentless hunger that seemed to grow with every passing hour. I tried to remain calm, to reassure the others that help would come, that we would find a solution. But the truth hung heavy in my chest. Our distress signals had gone unanswered. Lost in the vastness of space, we were alone, adrift in the cosmic sea. As the days stretched on, the desperation grew. We scoured the ship, hoping to find some hidden cache of supplies, but our efforts yielded nothing. The walls seemed to close in around us, a suffocating reminder of our dwindling options. I watched as my crewmates' faces grew hollow, their eyes haunted by the specter of starvation. We tried to maintain our routines, to carry on as if everything was normal, but the gnawing emptiness in our bellies was a constant reminder of our grim reality. And then, one by one, they began to fade. Their strength waned, their movements slowing to a lethargic crawl. I could see the desperation in their eyes, the silent plea for salvation, but there was nothing I could do. As the days turned to weeks, I felt my own strength ebb away. The ache in my belly was a relentless companion, a constant reminder of the cruel hand we had been dealt. I knew that our time was running out, that we were teetering on the precipice of oblivion. And then, one fateful day, it happened. I watched as my crewmates' bodies went limp, their breaths shallow and ragged. The hunger had claimed them, leaving behind only empty husks. I was alone, the last one standing in this macabre dance with death. I felt a surge of despair wash over me, a crushing weight that threatened to consume me whole. I was the last one, the sole survivor of a doomed mission. I staggered through the ship, my footsteps echoing in the oppressive silence. As I gazed out into the cold expanse of space, a sense of resignation settled over me. I knew that my time was near, that the hunger would soon claim me as well. I closed my eyes, ready to face the inevitable. But then, as darkness closed in around me, something shifted. I felt a strange sensation wash over me, a surreal disconnect from reality. And then in an instant, I was somewhere else entirely. I stood in a lush, verdant forest, the air heavy with the scent of blooming flowers. Birds chirped merrily overhead, their songs a stark contrast to the desolation of space. I looked around in disbelief, unable to comprehend the sudden change. It was a paradise, a world untouched by the cold hand of space. I could feel the soft earth beneath my feet, the warmth of the sun on my skin. It was as if I had been transported to another dimension entirely. As I wandered through the forest, a sense of wonder washed over me. I had been granted a second chance, a reprieve from the grim fate that had awaited me on the ship. It was a surreal, almost surreal experience, a testament to the unpredictable nature of the universe. But even in this newfound paradise, a sense of unease lingered. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss, that this world was too perfect, too idyllic. It was as if I had stumbled into a dream, a fragile illusion that could shatter at any moment. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, it was over. I felt a strange sensation wash over me, a pulling force that seemed to tug at my very essence. And then, in an instant, I was back on the spaceship, surrounded by the lifeless bodies of my crewmates. It took a moment for reality to sink in. I had never left the ship. It had all been a cruel, hallucinatory trick of the mind, a final descent into madness. The hunger had claimed us all, leaving behind only the cold embrace of death. As I stared at the lifeless forms of my crewmates, a sense of surreal detachment washed over me. It was as if I were watching the scene unfold from a distance, disconnected from the horror of it all. I closed my eyes, ready to face the inevitable. But then, in the darkness, a glimmer of light flickered to life. It was a signal, a beacon of hope in the abyss. I felt a surge of determination wash over me. I would not go quietly into the night. I would fight, to the very end, for a chance at survival. As I activated the distress beacon, a sense of grim resolve settled over me. I knew that rescue was a slim hope at best, that the odds were stacked against me. But I would not give up. I would fight, for my crewmates, for myself, for the chance to defy the cruel hand of fate. And so, as I sent out the signal, I made a silent vow. I would survive, against all odds. I would endure, and I would find a way to carry on, to honor the memory of those who had fallen. It was a battle for survival, a testament to the unyielding power of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity.